Your soul cries out that you are living a survival story right now.
I was scrolling on my phone and then looked something up and looked something else up, and then suddenly I was like, oh my gosh, I just lost a battle.
I couldn't get to sleep without making another episode for you guys.
I've always been fighting for my future husband and my future life and my future children as well.
Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve.
You have the power to overcome the adversary. The adversary, however, is aware of who you are.
And it's that scumbag Satan. It's the reason we're here today, because we all are tired of the crap that he pulls.
The role that Satan plays in things is science. It's not religion, it's science. If you understand it, you can win the battle. If you don't, you won't.
I'm not naive enough to assume that my children won't struggle with this.
I will show unto them that my wisdom is greater than the cunning of the devil.
So, I don't care what you do something. Let's do something.
I fight because I'm worth it.
Don't underestimate your value.
Learn who you really are.
I fight because I'm powerful.
You have an impact on people.
And I know who I am.
You are an elect son or daughter of God.
I'm a disturber of the dark side. That's who I am.
Go forward, my beloved young friends. Courage, and on to the victory.
Welcome to the Eternal Warrior Podcast, helping young people in the quest for self-mastery, sharing stories from the battlefront and the war against Satan and pornography. Today, we actually have a really special guest. Our normal programming consists of a veteran in the struggle and the lessons they've learned and how they've grown. But today, Shane is joining us, and he's just starting on this whole process. He's only recently joined a group and is working towards sexual self-mastery. So we're really excited about the program for us today. Eli, do you have any news for us before we get started with Shane?
Right. I don't, actually. Podcast is still growing strong, and we're getting new listeners. Last I checked, we had over, I want to say, 200 new listeners to the podcast.
Yes, that's
awesome.
Is amazing. Thank you so much, guys, for spreading the word around and for introducing people to the community. You know, this is really important. We need to get more people in here. Yeah, I think that's all I got. We should dive into Shane's story.
All right. Shane, why don't you tell us what's cool about yourself? What do you do for a living? What are your hobbies?
Well, I do commercial heating and air conditioning.
Okay.
Like the buildings and no residential. That's
Cool.
And love being outdoors, camping. You know, my wife likes boating, so she drags me onto the boat. Not my favorite. But
Nice.
my passion's motorcycles. I love getting on my bike and just getting away from things.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Now, when you say motorcycle, I know there are kind of two different fields of motorcycles. You've got dirt biking and just regular motorcycles. What are you passionate about?
I was the one at the resort with Harley.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Couldn't you tell by his shirt, the Harley Davidson patch on his shirt?
I only look at the screen a few times.
Man, can I ask, from what parts are you around? What city do you live in?
I live in Grantsville, Utah.
Okay, cool.
Which is about 30, 40 minutes out west of Salt Lake.
Yeah.
Cool.
There were all sorts of people at the retreat that came from all over, so I had to know,
yeah.
Are you
New England, Minnesota,
Yeah.
California?
Yeah.
you from Massachusetts or something? But
No, I'm local.
nice. Yeah, that's really cool. Well, we could probably get into your story now. Like,
I think first, or at least from my perspective, from what I heard at the men's retreat, you were totally new to the men's retreat, right? Like before the men's retreat, you'd really never interacted with us, and so I guess where we'll start your story in particular is, how did you even hear about the men's retreat? How'd you get there?
Somehow I got on the Life Changing Services email chain.
Okay.
And the camp one popped up, and I looked at it. I'm like all excited about it. Then it's for 18 and under. I'm like, oh, bummed out. That was, and then this one, I saw this one. I'm like, well, sweet, and talked to my wife about it, and I think I signed up 2 days later.
Wow, that is awesome.
And then
wow,
it was
so just out of the blue.
Yeah,
you got on the email chain. That's wow.
I don't remember how I got signed up for it.
That's divine intervention, right?
One of those spam emails that actually turned out to be a good thing.
Yeah. So I'm just
crazy.
looking through. I'm like, it looked cool, and I'm like, well, why not?
Yeah.
It's totally out of my comfort zone, just showing up to a retreat with a bunch of men.
That's
awesome.
So, I mean, how did your wife take that? That's because she didn't know about it either, I assume. So,
she was excited for me. She saw what it was, and she's like, "Yeah, go. This
fantastic.
Be good for you."
Oh, that's awesome.
That's great.
So yeah, she was 100% supportive on it.
That's great. So you show up at a men's retreat where there's about 30 of us. I mean, you didn't really know what you were going to get, I assume.
Nope.
So, walk us through a little bit of that. I'm curious how getting just thrown into the deep end was for you.
Initially, I mean, I told my wife I was like a timid little boy walking into a room full of adults, But then the second I was there, it was just like open arms, just welcome, and just felt a part of it from day one. It was really cool. And yeah, you could just immediately, when people got there, you could just immediately feel the spirit and how just uplifting, and I was like speechless at first. It's like, wow, this is really cool. I didn't feel like a stranger, so it was really neat.
I'm glad that we could provide that for you. I know that. Well, I mean, anybody who deals with sexual self-mastery is going to deal with loneliness and isolation, and I am so glad that even someone who had no idea what they were getting into was able to come in and just feel right at home. That's fantastic.
Right. Wow.
Yeah, it was awesome. Really awesome.
That's amazing. Maybe now I can jump in with my question.
Sorry.
So what led you here? What do you think? Do you mind if I ask, like, what your first exposure to pornography or masturbation was?
I remember I was between 8 and 10, and I found a Playboy underneath my dad's bed, and along with a couple videotapes. And so, being who I was back then, like to sneak around, snoop, and yeah, I pulled them out, and that was my first exposure.
Oh wow!
And yeah, and back then we didn't have the internet and stuff, so there'd be times where I didn't see anything for a while, and then all of a sudden you'll find one laying in the gutter, and yeah, I was drawn to it even back then, that age. So I'd look at it and just continue on, and that continued all the way pretty much through high school here and there. And then when I moved to Phoenix for school, my roommates, they had them just on the card table, so it wasn't very secretive back when I was in Phoenix.
Yeah, man.
I was 18, 19.
You just got pummeled from the very beginning.
And yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. Oh.
And then, you want me to keep going with my story, or you want to ask more questions? Whatever
keep going.
easier.
You can take it from here.
So yeah, I went to school in Phoenix, and then my high school seminary teachers happened to be moved down there. This was after I got out of school, and somehow my mom found out and got connected with them, and he got me into a singles ward down there. And, straightened up for a while.
Nice.
That's where I met my first wife, and that lasted 7 years.
Okay.
And then, long story, that nothing that really needs to deal with this part.
Right. Okay.
So we got divorced, and I met my current wife. And we got sealed in the temple, the whole works. And then I just started getting into chat rooms. And then that didn't seem to be enough, so I started looking at meetup sites and sexting and all that stuff. And now we have the internet with all the pornography you could see or want to see. And then just one of the ladies asked me to meet her, so reluctantly but excited at the same time, I went and met her. And that turned into a 3-year affair.
Wow.
Yeah, and then emotional affairs in between were just lots of sexting and that type of thing.
Wow.
And it just, it was slowly pulling me down every day, and I didn't realize it was so gradual. And I just got to the point where I didn't know a way out, so I planned on just ending everything.
Oh.
I remember waking up that Saturday morning, getting in my truck, and if you're familiar with Utah, the West Desert's a bunch of nothingness.
Right.
That was my plan, but somehow I ended up in Salt Lake at a gas station where my brother was.
Right.
He lives up in Cache Valley, 2 hours away, and hates Salt Lake, hates the city. I don't remember going into Salt Lake. I don't remember driving. All I remember is getting in the truck, and that was, I think, some of the light at the end of the tunnel that woke me up a little bit, and finally everything came out. Everything came clean with my wife. We went to a Fair Recovery Intensive in Texas. And that's the first time I've actually prayed and asked for help, that I couldn't do it alone. And that was the first step to recovery.
Wow.
So we did that 3-day intensive, which was like drinking out of a fire hose, lots of info. And then we did, they call it Beyond the EMS, which is like a 6-week course with the couples that we had in our little group there. And then after that, we stayed with one of the couples for a whole year doing work, and we still keep in contact with them.
Wow.
And then I did a 17-week Hope for Healing course for men. And then as soon as that one ended, I hopped on a sobriety boot camp through Daring Adventures. And then when that ended, I hopped on SAL Lifeline. And in between that, I found Life Changing Services.
Wow.
Their emails. So now I'm into this, along with those. So just keeping going.
That's amazing. Like, it seems like just as intense as the temptation was when you were younger and continuing on to adulthood, that's the same amount of intensity that you put into your recovery. Like, I know a lot of men who would just go through one program, say I'm clean, and then they'd keep messing up, and they're like, and they don't do anything about it. This is You're a warrior, man. you were fighting. You were not giving up.
That's right. You definitely belong on the Eternal Warrior podcast. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
How is? I mean, clearly you put your wife through a lot, but.
Oh yes.
She worked with you. She went into several of these events with you. She worked with you for, it sounds, for years now.
Yeah.
Can you, I mean, you don't have to tell us about her necessarily, but just tell us about the relationship and what it's done to your relationship, and then how working through it together has helped you.
It put a damage in our relationship. I'll be the first one to say that what I did is abuse, and I put her through a lot of emotional abuse. And she is on her own journey also. She went to therapy and stuff, and a lot of work on her own. She still does it. And everyone told her she should leave, but she had several blessings, and each one told her to be patient. Be patient with him.
Oh, that's amazing.
And now, with all the work we do, we're closer than we ever have before. We listen. I listen. I just don't listen to her. I actually hear what she's saying. I pay attention to her. I'm more attuned to her feelings and emotions. And it's been amazing for our relationship. It's sad that it took this for me to open my eyes and my heart, my mind.
Yeah.
But the flip side is we're never been this close and this happy together.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Wow.
We do still have our moments. There's times where I, get the defensive mechanism up. Sometimes it triggers her, but we're actually able to talk about it and move forward and stuff.
Communication is.
Whereas in the past, I was just mean and ornery, and I was tearing the family apart slowly.
Wow.
And it's very costly. I got three of my stepkids don't want to talk to me, and that's 5 grandkids I don't get to see, and that's really hard. But that's what this addiction has costed me.
Wow.
And I hope and pray that someday that I'll be able to rebuild those relationships. But time, patience, and humility.
Right. It's a virtue. It's a struggle. It sounds like you've been through some amazing, really hard and amazing experiences, and had a lot of experience overcoming this. Have you found any really helpful tools as you and your wife have been going through this together? Any specific things you do, or that maybe just you do, that helps you keep in the right mindset?
Well, first and foremost, groups are imperative. I don't think you can do this without some type of group.
Yes.
Amen. And for me, SAL Lifeline, they're LDS based also, like this one is, and I think it's been very, very helpful for me because I can share my experiences of faith and have people actually understand it and get it, which is nice.
Yeah. Right.
And journaling is really good. I suck at it, but it's really good. I go back and read some of the stuff I wrote, and I'm like, oh wow, I can see the progression.
Yeah.
So that's one of my goals, is to get better at that. And communicating, and we try and check in, at least once a week. Use Fanos and stuff like that, some type of check in.
Okay.
So we can see where we're at, basically.
Nice.
You expressed that you don't think it's possible to recover without a group or without a support system.
Nope.
What makes you say that?
I tried it.
Okay, personal experience.
I white knuckled it, and I tried it and failed and tried and failed, and
You mean you didn't just magically learn how to do it?
Nope.
Darn.
Man.
No special pill.
Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah. Well, first of all, there would be a lot of problems with a pill taking away your sexual drive. So I'm very grateful for a group and being able to talk about this.
Oh yeah, because when you in a group setting, when you do something good and you do have a win, you can share with your group. You can't take it to your spouse and say, "Hey, guess what?" She's like, "Great, you should have been doing that from day one."
Right. Oh man. Yeah. Isn't it? Yeah. I that takes me back, man. When I first started group, like I was just when I was gonna start group, I was so nervous. Like I'm like, I don't want to tell anybody about this. I don't want to let people know that I'm dealing with this. I'm gonna meet a bunch of weirdos and I'm not gonna relate to them. And then after going, I'm excited and I want to come home and I want to share everything I've learned. Yeah. Do you kind of get that same kind of feeling?
Oh yeah. Even after my groups, my wife even says you're always uplifted after your groups. So they definitely help for sure.
That's amazing.
I do want to just pause and take a second. Shane, I don't know who your wife is, but she sounds like a truly wonderful person. So, please give her our warmest regards.
Yeah. I'm very blessed and very lucky because, I put her through the ringer. I put her through hell and back and, basically dropped a bomb on her. And she still has patience and she chose to stick around and chose to let me stay.
Yeah.
So I'm very grateful and blessed.
Oh, absolutely. That's beautiful.
She's an amazing woman.
Yeah. Oh, man, that is beautiful. You're still sending me down memory lane. I'm not married, but when I first told my dad about this, it was a really emotional time. And he, bless his heart, he is very respectful of me, and so he waited to tell my mom until he got my permission to tell my mom. And there was a particularly nasty battle that I lost that affected not just my parents but all my siblings. And when my mom heard about it, she immediately got a feeling from the Spirit, like everything is going to be okay. It's going to turn out fine. And she's super grateful for that because there's no way she would have been able to just handle it mentally. And so I'm really, really grateful for that comforter. I guess on that topic, how has your faith in Jesus Christ been affected on this journey?
Well, I pretty much shut everything and everyone out, so I wasn't going to church. In fact, I remember we were in the bishop or the stake president's office with my bishop, the stake president, and my wife, and I was just mean. I mean, I was not a nice person. And when I chose and decided to go back to church, and I set up a meeting with my stake president to start the repentance process, he had me take the temple questions one at a time and spend 2 weeks just diving into that particular question. And then I'd meet with him again and we'll discuss it and so on and so forth. I remember the one that stands out to me the most is, do you have faith in your leaders? I don't know exact wording, but basically is what it says.
Yeah.
Well, I asked him to have, if it's okay if I have my bishop and my wife to come to that one. Still gets. I was able to ask my bishop for forgiveness because the way I treated him kind of came full circles, and because I don't know what went through his head. If he was thinking, did I say something? Did I not say something? Or whatever, you know. But it was nice to be able to look him in the eyes and say, apologize for my behavior and ask for his forgiveness, and reassure him that he did not do or didn't do anything wrong. This was all me. And so, yeah, just being able to experience that and going through the repentance process and being actually able to get my temple recommend, yeah, it was very, very. I'm more spiritual than I ever have been.
Wow.
At least it's really cool experience and feeling.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's funny how that happens. How the act of going away from God and coming back makes you appreciate Him so much more. And
oh, for sure.
Yeah, I think at least I relate to that a lot, and I think a lot of people listening can relate to that too.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing you need in recovery is Heavenly Father and Jesus. Another thing you can't do without, in my opinion.
Yeah, that is so good. I'm wondering, as you're coming into this program, are you coming into the Men of Moroni program?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you met?
I'll be actually starting the group. I'm hoping to start the group in the first week of June.
Oh, okay. Wow. Caught you just in time. We might need to do a follow-up, see how you like it.
Oh, for sure.
Have you met with the clinician yet? What's your first impressions of life-changing services?
Well, just talking to all you guys at the retreat and those seminars they put on, I'm very impressed.
Nice.
It's just when Maurice was talking about the flashcards, it's such a simple thing to do, but yet just the power you can have just on that little flashcard.
Yeah.
I thought that was really, really cool concept.
Yeah. That was a very intense time. For those of you who are wondering what that was, we talked a little bit about it in was it Ammon's episode or Todd's?
We talked a little bit about it in Ammon's episode, and then there was an episode where it was just you and I, and we were talking about the retreat. We talked about it
right.
as well.
Yeah. So we had, the retreat review. We had that. I highly recommend going back and listening to that. This tool using flashcards, putting help me out.
A satanic attack on one side and the rebuttal on the other.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
There you go.
It is such a powerful tool, being able to call out the darkness in your head and planning what you're gonna do next. And it was like really emotional time, wasn't it?
Oh yeah. Oh
it's
yeah.
Like, it's laying out, what you might think of as like the darkness going on in your head, but once you bring it out and you share it with people, you realize it's not you, and we're all trying to help you just come back to yourself, because the darkness isn't you. On that,
that when you talk about darkness, one of the ladies in my ward, she saw me right in the height of everything, and then she hadn't seen me for probably a year later, and she told my wife, she goes, "I almost didn't recognize him. He looks so much lighter."
Yeah. Score. You did it.
Yes. So yeah, you can see the darkness just consume you, and you don't even realize it. It's it's that gradual.
That's amazing. I'm wondering, unless you have a question, Garrett.
No, you go first.
I'm wondering, what are you looking forward to in Sons of Helaman, or I mean, Men of Moroni? What are you hoping to get out of it?
Just a fellowship, a group, people I can turn to, because I've come to terms with this is a lifelong battle.
Yeah.
And I don't want to go back to the person I used to be. I don't want to be that person who isolates and stays away from everyone. I want to be a part of this, and also be able to help other people and share my experience and share my story, and this, yeah.
Yeah, that's powerful. And you're starting right now.
Yep.
Thank you so much.
I'm curious. You mentioned with this lady in your ward and the light that she saw in you. As you've gone through this process, how have you seen the attitudes of those around you shift and grow? How's that been for you?
Well, the kids that do still want to come around and be around me, they told my wife that I just seemed so much happier and just enjoying life again and just positive.
Man. And I just, I'm glad you have that blessing, and there's still those that come back to you. That can be so hard, to be isolated.
Yep, it is.
From family. I kind of know the other side of that, where my family had a grandfather. I have a grandfather, a great-grandfather, who was alive until I was about 18, and nobody on my side of the family talked to him or interacted with him, because he treated them really, really poorly. And I thought it was really sad, and my mom one day got the impression to reach out to him and start talking to him. And it was during the time when he was, things were kind of failing in his body, and he needed extra support. He was at a care facility, and he would get on the phone with my mom, and he'd just tell her stories, and stories about when he was in the war, flying bomber planes, and
oh wow.
Yeah. He was in 3 wars. He hit them just perfectly. One of them being World War II. And my mom is so grateful that she had that experience, because he passed away just a year after she started reaching out to him. And I just want to say, if there's anyone who you're having a hard time forgiving, and according to the circumstances, maybe there's someone who's still working through acting out, but reach out to them. See it. It's painful on both ends, but there's always room, and there's always a chance for healing and forgiveness.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
definitely, for sure.
Shane, do you think in your case, I know you mentioned you have the few children who don't want anything to do with you. Obviously they have good reason to be hurt, just as your wife had good reason to be hurt and everything. But
for sure.
Do you maintain hope that you will get to reconnect with them at some point?
I do. I really do. I just, pray and just, I'm going to write them all another letter here soon, just to let them know I'm thinking about them and, and not force myself on them, but at least let them know that they are on my mind.
That's fantastic. I think that's a great way to approach it. It's a difficult situation, obviously, anytime something like this comes up, and you always want to be careful, but I think it is, you should be commemorated for trying to respect their space as well as continue to hope, because there is still hope.
For sure.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here now, so
that's
it's true.
Proof is in the pudding. Wonderful. Are you? I kind of want to go back to tools and like ways of winning, because there's a lot of people listening onto this podcast who may not have joined a group or may not have either the motivation or just the courage to reach out. And I just want to, maybe for someone who's not quite ready, but what would you recommend? Or how about this? What is a common satanic attack that you experience, and how do you try to overcome it?
One of the things I've always struggled with has just, when I'm interacting with women, is to kind of push it, to a little bit of flirtation, that type of thing. And so that's one thing I've always struggled with, is trying to reel them in, get the attention. And obviously objectifying women. I think we all at one point did that. So now I just, basically anything past hello is really not my concern. You can be polite, but you don't need to engage past a certain point.
Nice.
Right. I think it's a good example. What you're talking about is the no boundaries that we use in manpower goals. Those no boundaries are those places where, hey, no, I can't go past this point, and that's a good one for. In your case, that's a great one. If you struggle with that, recognizing that, hey, hello is what I'm responsible for. Anything after that is too much.
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly.
It's an example of. To me, it seems like an example of retraining your brain from one pattern to a new pattern that you're setting.
Oh, totally. And looking at women as not an object, but as a human being, a person.
Yeah. Right. I do relate to that. I think for me, it's, it can be like a sexual thing and an objectifying thing, but I think for me it's also like a pride thing. Like I guess I just kind of want to see, like, if I can impress a girl, and I don't think that ever goes away. So
I think that's just on that note, Eli. I think that's a good example of a satanic attack. On your part, right?
Yeah.
Like that, looking at it as, oh, it's a matter of pride. Like, can I do this? Can I get this girl to give me attention, right? And I think it's a small but subtle lie that Satan is putting in front of you.
Yeah.
I mean, in your case, you're not even married, but
my case,
to put those thoughts in your head, right? To put those thoughts in your head is slowly pushing you towards hey, you can push this just a little bit farther, right?
Yeah.
And you know, like we talked about with Maurice on that men's retreat, the key is to recognize even those subtle lies, the ones that, you know, might just come across as joking, but they're not jokes, right? They're real. It's every step we allow Satan to take is one we're gonna have to fight to get back.
Yeah,
for sure.
So Shane, what thoughts do you use? What thoughts have you created to combat this lie, to push against that feeling of pushing the boundary too far?
Well, first off, I think, okay, if my wife was standing by me, would this be okay?
That's a good one.
And yeah, and then otherwise, just go self-checkout.
Self-checkout.
But yes, I love self-checkout. You don't have to talk to anybody. But yeah, just try and keep it professional, and be polite and if you feel uncomfortable, then there's a reason for that, and get out, walk away.
That's a lot of great things right there, just all at once.
Call my sponsor. Yeah, call my sponsor. Text someone in my group, or just reach out. Just surrender it.
Yeah.
Huh. You covered just in that little section. You covered so many great tools that we can use. Like you mentioned just getting out, right? And I think a lot of them we can see these tools used actually in the scripture. So just getting out, like that's Joseph in Egypt, right? That's
yeah.
Potiphar's wife was like, hey, and he's just like, nope, I'm out of here, bye. Right? And you might look at that, like if we were looking at it as, a battle between, two people with swords, right? And one just turned around and ran away. You might look at that as being the cowardly thing to do. And it is my opinion that that is the totally correct choice to do when you're outmatched. And oftentimes we're outmatched. You're not in a spot where you can think straight, basically. And so best thing is just get out of there. Yeah.
Yeah. And I loved, it seemed like these were kinds of things that you would do in different stages. Are you familiar with the chemical scale?
One form of it or another. Yeah, I've seen it.
Okay. Yeah, it's a diagram in the middle of like Dragons Did They Fight, where it shows a progression of like at level 0 you're at your best self, 1 you're a little off, 2 you're feeling an emotion, 3 you get a thought, hey, you can solve this emotion.
Yeah, they did a seminar at the retreat on this.
Right,
also.
right. Yeah. And so, I don't know, would you take, are the examples you gave, would you do those different things at different parts of the chemical scale, like at different stages of being attacked?
Yeah, you could fit them in like that. I haven't really done the chemical scale very much. Right. I've done the circle plan. Or what we did in EMS weekend, he used a stoplight, red, green, and yellow type.
Oh, gotcha.
So some are, your warning, you're pushing it. Mm-hmm. Then you got your red, you're acting out, and then your green, you're safe. So similar.
Okay, similar. Yeah, it's a similar idea.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah. I think the chemical scale breaks it down a little further, though.
Yes.
Yeah. Instead of just having 3, you got.
Right.
I think for those listeners who aren't familiar with the chemical scale, I think we should go over just the first three, just because I think it is useful for our discussion. So, as Eli said, 0 is you're good with yourself and with God, right? You're just everything's good. 1 is where this is something's off, right? And a lot of times, especially if you're not practiced, at a 1, maybe you don't know what's off. You just know something's off, right? And so that one can be a bit difficult to pinpoint. Once you're at a 2, that's what we call negative self-thoughts, right? This is negative beliefs about yourself, negative beliefs about your life, and the things that surround you. And then once you hit a 3, that's what we would classically call temptation, right? So, whether you're tempted to look at pornography or masturbate or whatever action you're being tempted to do, the 3 is a temptation, right? You get your first thought that says that might be nice to do. And I've noticed, and this is when you gave several tools, and we talked about Joseph's tool of just running away. And in my experience, if you're at a 3, right? So if you're at the temptation part, the only answer is run away. And like dragons did they fight does a good job of putting this in perspective, because we think the reason it's called the chemical scale is we're talking about chemicals getting dumped into your brain. These are chemicals that control your emotions and your fight or flight response. Like all of these chemicals are getting dumped into your brain. And so if you're at a 3, you're fighting the battle high. Right? And a lot of people don't recognize that. If you're already at the temptation, you're stoned. Like you're high. You're high on the chemicals inside your own brain. And so you cannot trust yourself to fight an overwhelming enemy at a 3. You're too high. You're already too far, and the chances of you getting back by yourself are almost none. Right? And so anytime I'm at a 3, I know I have to reach out to someone. I need someone else, right? Because I can't do this by myself. Like at a 3, I can't do it by myself. If I catch myself at a 1, sure, I can pull that back. I can be mindful. If I catch myself at a 2, okay, that's a little bit more difficult. I got to put a little bit more effort, maybe some physical exercise, go for a walk, do some stuff. But at a 3, I need help, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's something that people forget, is that, because the scale goes from 0 to 10, we think, oh, well, if I get up to like a 7 or 8, that's, that's fine, right? I'm not at a 10. No, at a 3, it's too far. Like you're
yeah. Oh man. So, yeah, along those lines, Shane, you had several good tools of, just go to self-checkout. Imagine your wife is there, and then reach out to someone. How do you know which tool to use in the situation?
Well, if you start at the top and work your way down.
That's that's great.
Shotgun
that's the best
approach.
way to do it. It's like, it's like we'll create an example. Say you're at a gas station, get a drink, and the lady at the register is very flirty with you, and she's an attractive lady. So you think, oh, if my wife was right here. But you're still drawn to that attention. Okay, that's time to pick up a phone call. Say, or excuse yourself for something.
Yeah.
Because your mind is on one thing only. So you need to have someone else reel it back in for you.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Sorry, lady, I got to take a call right now. Nice meeting you.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great.
I've texted group members. I got a phone list of probably 20 guys that I can just shoot a text, hey, help.
Nice. Man, you're relentless.
That's what I'm talking
Nice
about.
shotgun approach. I'm gonna have to try this out. Oh man, I know
that old adage, better safe than sorry, right?
Yeah,
absolutely.
A lot of times I'll be in group. I like to visit the younger guys just because I graduated from the Sons of Helaman program, and I like seeing how things are nowadays. And a lot of these younger kids get hung up on, like, okay, I have my one thing that I do when I get attacked, and that will work. And then it doesn't work. And they're like, oh no, I can't win battles. I'm going to die. Oh, woe is me. But what Maurice is trying to teach them is exactly what you talked about. Like, have a list. Have a huge list of doing stuff. And if one thing doesn't work, if it doesn't go according to plan, which it probably won't, I don't remember the last time any battle went according to plan. Just keep doing stuff. Don't stop.
This brings up
exactly.
Another part of that men's retreat that was just so good was when we all got out the fake swords and learned the basics of sword fighting, right? And
that was amazing.
It's interesting to overlay what we're talking about onto a sword fight, right? The first thing you were saying, Eli, we're like these young men who will do one sword swing, and this is basically the equivalent of what we're talking about. They do one sword swing and they miss. And rather than, maybe pull back, reestablish their guard and go in again, they just lay it out on the ground. They're like, oh, I can't win. And that's silly. It would be very silly to see that on the battlefield, but that's what they're doing. They're basically, one swing and then just, Yeah. And then the second one that you brought up right at the end there, that when was the last time a battle plan went to plan, right? And on that men's retreat, there were multiple times where we were given different situations, whether it was we got to protect the barrel, and it can't get hit even one time. Yeah. Right? And we'd make some plan, and then the plan would go out the window, and it'd be chaos as we were trying to protect the barrel from anyone getting near it, right? And I think that's similar to those mental battles that we have, that we might make a plan, and then we start that plan, and pretty soon the plan goes out the window, and we've got to have stuff to rely on. We've got to have that the rest of that shotgun blast, right, to rely on when we're trying to overcome, right? We have to have a full arsenal of swings and attacks, and however you want to look at the analogy that's up to you. But the point is that there has to be more than just one thing, and you can't be surprised when the first thing doesn't work. You got to have lots of options.
Yeah. Great points, Shane. There's a big point Maurice made at the retreat, which was, I think it was in his discussion about passion projects, but he might have discussed it elsewhere, where a surefire way of connecting with your true self and remembering who you are, because that really is what the battle is. It's we might see, acting out to pornography and sexual addiction as the main thing, but really the main thing is remembering who we are and what we value. And Maurice talks about how a surefire way of doing that is reaching out, connecting with someone else, serving someone else. And I'm curious if you have any elements of that in your life, Shane. Is there any way you've served someone or made connection with them?
Oh, yes.
Oh, good. I'm excited.
It's actually my wife, actually. She, the dog knocked over a mirror. She didn't see it because the lights were out. She put her foot through the mirror, and it cut her Achilles tendon.
Wow.
So she had to have multiple surgeries fix it. She was pretty much laid up for almost a year trying to, very limited because she couldn't put any weight on it.
Wow.
So yeah, I got to serve her.
Wow.
Help her shower, help her, bring her food, take care of her.
Wow.
Yeah. And talk about looking at someone in a different light is when you're actually serving them. It's pretty amazing.
Wow.
Absolutely.
I think it's kind of reminds me of that story about I don't know the details, but the guy carries his wife upstairs every night because she's sick. It's an old LDS story. I can't remember what it's called, but same thing. I took care of her all her needs and stuff, and because she couldn't walk on her Achilles for a while. So
wow. I'll need to look up that story now because I'm drawing a blank. But
if I remember correctly, Eli, I think there might be like a church-sponsored short video, like a 12-minute, 10-minute video.
Yeah,
like
I think so. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. If I find it, I'll put it in the.
I can. I can relate to that sense of service. So, news to everybody. My wife is actually pregnant. And
congratulations!
Thank you, I appreciate that. And she gets very sick when she's pregnant, very nauseous, and it becomes very debilitating for her, not being able to get up and being in this program and seeking out those other outlets. Right, it has taught me something that I may have struggled with in the past, but now it's such a blessing to me, and that's that. A normal man might be frustrated with the fact that I'm meal prepping breakfast, before I go to work, and then I'm coming home and I'm doing all the laundry and I'm doing all the dishes and making dinner and making sure everything's set up so that my children can take care of the things while mom's sick. Your average man might get frustrated with that, or they might get upset about it, and it's only increased the love that I have for my wife.
Yep. Absolutely.
Wow.
So
yeah, and it sounds like that's helping you in the fight. Like, how has that changed your perspective?
You talking to him or me?
Oh. I mean, we could dive into Garrett, but this is your show.
Yeah. I look at her a whole different light, and just my respect has grown, and I actually see her, not just as my wife or the kids' mom. It's actually, she's my eternal companion, my wife. It's neat.
Oh, that hit me. I almost cried. I don't cry. I don't cry. That's the thing. So that was very good. Oh,
Shane, I don't know how often you hear this, Shane, but I do want to express on Eli and I's behalf, you have an amazing story and amazing growth, and I'm excited to see what you can do within the life-changing services and the support you can provide for your fellow warriors. I hope that everybody can learn from your experiences. That's fantastic. But to finish off our podcast here, Shane, if you would you mind sharing with us, why is it that you fight to be clean? Why is it that you fight for recovery?
Because I want to respect myself. Ultimately, I have to do it for me. Because you can't do it for other people. You'll fail every time. But I do want to be a better person, so I can just be a positive influence for my grandkids and my kids, and I want them to see how a man is supposed to treat his wife, not what I've done in the past. And I just want to be a better person, and I hope that my story can help. I mean, probably 90% of the therapists I've talked to or dealt with throughout these many years, all of them have been where we are. They all started out in some type of sexual addiction, and they're using it to change people. So I want to change me, and then I want to help others.
I got dust in my eye.
I'm not crying. I'm just sweating from my eyes.
Oh, man. Wow. It's been a real delight to have you on, Shane. Thank you so much for
I appreciate the opportunity
being with us. And I think we're gonna wrap it up now. To any of you who are listening, please remember Shane and all of those who have come out on this podcast, and remember that there's hope. Remember that there's connections to be had. There's methods to being the man or the woman that you want to be. And if no one else supports you in that, we can support you in that. And reach out to us at podcast@lifechangingservices.org, or sign up for a program on lifechangingservices.org and go and do it. Get the help you need. And until we meet again, I promise to be a service to you and will allow you to be of service to me until both you and I successfully defeat this demon that assails us. Peace.
Appreciate it, guys.
If you're listening to this podcast, you have probably found that you are in need of, you are strongly desiring, a level of self-mastery that you have not been able to achieve on your own. Or you are a loved one or a parent who knows someone who would like to achieve that level of self-mastery. It's not fun to be in that situation. Been there, done that. I've become a specialist in this area by spending 30 years initially searching for and harvesting eternal principles found in the world of psychology, science, and the words of the prophets, many of them found in the Book of Mormon, for my own sake first, and then I found that they're of great value to others. Instead of just hoarding these concepts, we put them into a book form that is easy for you to access. Like Dragons Did They Fight? You'll understand the reason why it's called that when you start reading it. But go to likedragonsfree.com, get your own free copy of it, download it, and then when you're ready to talk over your circumstances and make a battle plan, call 877-HERO, 877, in other words, 877-4376. Talk to our headquarters people, and if necessary, they'll arrange for you to have a consultation with me. I am sad that you're going through this, but I've watched thousands and thousands of young warriors gain the confidence and strength they need to be able to have the lives they want now and the futures they desire to have. We will see you soon.